From Sports Chat Place and PickDogs.com here with my set countdown, my last days of this set. Actually, with the Passover holiday, like a lot of my equipment actually is delayed shipping. So we'll see what happens with that. I guess Friday shipping will resume for a lot of these companies. They're closed Saturdays, Sundays they reopen. There's no mails on Monday, so probably a little bit behind, but so what? We got time. PGA Tour leading the way, June 11th for the PGA Tour. We're gonna have something to bet on, and I'll tell you, I don't mind betting on golf, and I think it's something that we've probably lightly covered over the years at Sports Chat Place. We've never covered it at Pick Dogs, so I think I've been looking for a golf writer since my last golf writer left. So if anyone covers golf, looking for at least two people to cover golf for us. So there you heard it. Of course, we're still fighting through this thing. In the first half of the general news stuff, Rod says that British Columbia is announced. What was the announcement this morning?
Yeah, British Columbia has the #1 liquor sales in Canada. They're not sure whether they should be proud or ashamed.
I think a little bit of both. It's like a little bit of both. And then Steve Monahan has an announcement here for Carmela, his girlfriend, who is supporting the frontline troops. Not going to post a link in the group or anything, but we could post a link actually in the description of this Facebook this YouTube video as well, and you could go out and support some of these people that are out there doing the stuff. Steve, tell us a little more about it.
So she owns a bakery. It's in Monticello, New York, which is in Sullivan County, which is about an hour north of New York City. So they put together a program to help the frontline workers, families in needs, where she set up a GoFundMe page that you can support this cause, that they can produce these meals for the frontline workers and families in need. So it's called Cooking Through COVID. Okay, so her email or her website, and you can go to her website, and then you'll see her GoFundMe page, and it's up to you if you want to donate. It would be appreciated, obviously. So it's DeFilippi's, DeFilippi's Bakery, one word, DeFilippi's Bakery .wix site, WIXSITE.com.
She needs some internet consulting. That's what she needs. And the three of us all look at each other like, what?
I know.
It's like, how the hell am I supposed to remember that? It's like,
you can Google her, DeFilippi.
I understand it. The DeFilippi's Bakery. Just Google DeFilippi's Bakery. Monticello, you'll see there might be more than one. You pick the one in Monticello. Kind of like I was watching Summer House last night and they had like a couple bars they went to, so I Googled it just to see who would let these people in. And, there's Murphy's. How many Murphy's? I think there's one in every street corner. But, that's
a cause. I mean, she's not the only one doing it.
No, absolutely not. But it's a good cause. You guys know we generally aren't here to spam, promote, do any of that stuff. But this is a little different, so we'll do it. As far as Chris, how's your relationship with your fiance going through this togetherness? This is something I'm interested in. How's it all going there?
That's kind of why I gave myself a haircut, so that she can't pull my hair out. I can still get her, but she can't get me.
Yeah, we started at the 6 feet of social distancing about a week ago, and we're at about 15 to 20 feet right now.
Oh, that's perfect for me. Up into 50, I don't care.
I eat a lot of crunchy foods, and I've been watching a lot of TV. I'm a big popcorn eater. Everyone knows that. You guys have seen me eat popcorn on the show, but I'm not the quietest popcorn eater in the world. You know,
At
A
this
lot of
point,
texting going on in the house that we tell.
Zoom.
I was gonna say at this point, I'm about letting myself go so that social distancing isn't an option. She has to do it at this point. It's just like
my wife's the only one that lives in Hawaii that uses the Zoom backgrounds. You know, when she's zooming with her friends. It's like, you know, it's like she's standing outside. It's like the Pacific Ocean with whales jumping and dolphins, you know, swimming around, and she's got like the Avengers background up or something. You know, it's like I don't know. It's kind of when I bought my wife her first iPhone, it was like true story. She wanted to take it back. It was too much phone. It's too much. She had to take a class on it. She like my wife's like she's got to take a class on everything, type thing. It's like take a class on the iPhone. She seriously did it. This was the iPhone 1. Actually, when I was looking through all my stuff, you know, for stuff for the set, I found some really cool stuff. Can't wait to put it up on the site. I should have brought some with me today. Maybe tomorrow I'll do it. I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I'm going to have in the back, you know, in the background of the set. And it's going to be a changing thing, but you know, definitely some pretty cool stuff. But one of them, some of the stuff we found was our first iPhone. It's like the iPhone 1. It's like this big.
Wow.
Tiny little thing.
It beats the Nextel two-way radios from like the early, you know, the mid '90s, late '90s. Remember those bad boys?
Oh yeah, the Jerry Jones flip phone.
Yeah.
Like when they showed Jerry Jones and he's got the flip phone.
Right.
Well, anyways, golf, you know, possibly leading the way here in baseball, possibly talking about starting. I think that we're starting to hear about, you know, the next steps. You know,
I wish I was a fly on the wall. I wish I was a fly on the wall yesterday.
What was that?
Trump held a conference with everybody again yesterday on Wednesday. I haven't heard any news of what came out of it, but he had all the big leaders there. He had the MLB commissioner, NHL commissioner, NFL commissioner, UFC, LPGA, USTA, MLS, WWE, NASCAR, the Patriots owner, the Cowboys owner, Dallas Mavericks owner, all in a big conference call. He says, we want our sports back. So importantly, Trump said, he goes, we have to get our sports back. He goes, I'm tired of watching baseball games that are 14 years old.
As long as it's not the NFL, right? Because he's the one that said we shouldn't watch the NFL. I'm just saying, you know. I mean, no one's going to ever say I'm not consistent, you know. But this guy, I mean, no one should watch the NFL. And now it's like, you know, we need the NFL. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. I hate politics so much. It's like, you know, last time was the first election I didn't vote. And I'm not even ashamed to say that. You know, normally I would be ashamed to say I didn't vote. The last election was the first time I didn't vote. And I'll tell you what, I'm probably not going to vote again. It's horrid. I just don't understand with this many people and you know, how we get left with these choices. And it's, you know, I saw a funny thing on Facebook. It was like Bernie Sanders. It's like, I'm not running anymore. Vote for the guy that I just spent 2 years trashing. You know, it's like, once again, it's you know, and that's really much the truth. You know, on both sides. You know, on all sides. It was crazy times, but you know, just. I think to remember, you know, and why we do this show, I would continue to do it while most of the people in our industry have stopped doing it. It's just to remind everyone that we are all in this together, and we truly are. I mean, Chris will tell you, I still keep in contact with all the guys, you know, who we work with. You know, not every day, but I'm definitely been in touch, and we're just trying to cover a lot of things that we haven't done. I've written out, so one of the things that I've done is I've written out an entire betting section. We have a betting section in Sports Chat. It's kind of hidden, and I'm not really sure how indexed it is in Google. But I've written out an entire another betting section. So, pretty excited about that. The premium area is just about ready. We had an issue with the premium area, and it looked like we were ready to go. which it does. I know it doesn't really matter because we have nothing to put in there unless we want to put some horse races. But the issue that we had was with the coupon codes, that it was having trouble applying the coupon codes individually. So to allocate who gets paid what. That's really what's the last issue. I guess a lot easier for us to look at. Like a lot of stuff in tech, a lot easier to just assume, and I know that I get emails all the time from people saying, you should do this and you should do this. It's like, that would cost us about $600,000 and make us zero, So speaking about purchases, Chris, what are some of the dumbest purchases you ever made? Like, what's the thing that you say, what the hell did I buy this for?
God. Probably my 2001 Ford Escape.
So, like what was up with this? What's up with this car? When did you buy it? Number one, did you buy it last year? Was it 19 years later?
Okay. So no. So what happened was, my first car was the car that my dad gave me. It was a Ford Focus.
Oh, I know.
I got sideswiped.
She's a cream puff.
Oh, she's a beauty.
What's it gonna take for me to put you in this car today?
So I got sideswiped by an 18-wheeler in the winter. The car was a write-off. So I was like panicking, trying to find a new car. And my dad's friend says, "Oh, here, I got a 2001 Ford Escape, barely driven." This was like 2012. I bought it.
So 11 years
He's like, it's got 80,000 kilometers on it. There's not that much.
One owner, original.
Yeah, one owner.
Driven by a little old lady.
And I had it for maybe a year before the transmission blew, and I left it on the side of the road. And then I went to take it to the shop. They're like, yeah, it's probably going to cost about $4,000 to fix. And I was like, okay, well, how much is the car actually worth? They're probably about, with parts, $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, chalking this one up as a loss, and then just went on my way.
So for me, for the website, the worst thing I ever put money. Well, I put money into I've had a lot of great ideas. I've been really fortunate that I'm a risk taker. So it's like we're constantly putting out new things, right? And it's like, you guys might not notice some of them you do notice. Usually they're pretty subtle. And sometimes it's a big announcement, like the new premium area. But the one big announcement that I had a few years back was the app. And this was the single worst idea I ever had. Okay? People, and I still get it today. You should have an app. You should have an app. You should have an app. And maybe at some point we will have another app. I don't know. But I have to say that the app was the biggest pain in the ass. And so here's how my life with the app went, okay? The original cost of the app, the scheduled cost of the app was $35,000, okay? So it was $35,000. The way that generally tech projects work, either you pay half up front and half when it's done, or third up front, a third in the middle, and then the last third when it's done, right? So $35,000. This one was a third, okay? So I paid the money up front, which, you're never thrilled because you got nothing and you see nothing. Then you pay the middle third, and then this is what always happens. Oh, you didn't say you wanted that. You didn't say you wanted that. You didn't say you wanted that. So $60,000 later. $60,000. This is why they think everything's free at the website and everything's easy. $60,000 later, I get this app. Okay? So what I learned is that most people that buy stuff on the app, at least at the time when I had the app, most of the purchases on the app are like $3 and $4. Like when people are buying stuff on the app, it's like we're selling, picks, premium memberships for, at that time, $55, $60. And we're selling stuff on the app for like $4. So I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get to 60? Because this is what I'm in, right? Just to break even at $4 a pop. And I don't know if you guys remember, we used to do Mitch's app attack video is what I came up with. and I got someone to sponsor the App Attack video. And this is the thing about the app also, is every time, like we see it all the time, Apple update, right, where Apple has these updates on their phone. Every time they do that, it's $5,000 to update your app, minimum. So it's like, as you're chasing, they start pulling the carrot further and further away. And I told my wife, and I told everyone, and I was like, and they were like, why'd you do the app? I'm like, everyone said I should have an app. Everyone said I should have one. And it was like, I said, if I ever get even with this app, I'm pulling the plug that day. And I'll tell you, I never worked so hard, and I know that I never like sat here and like, begged, and maybe I did beg people to do the app, and I demoed the app in videos and stuff, and I showed, we had Shake Your Moneymaker pick. I don't know if anyone remembers this, where it's like you could buy a random pick, right? It would just be like, it would be any pick, and it would be discounted half off the $4 that we were selling picks off, so they were $2. And then you buy it through the phone, and then you just shake your phone like this, and it randomly shoots out any pick from any of the cappers that were posting picks on the app that day. So it's like you could have gotten like the soccer pick, it didn't matter, but you were getting it at the discount price. And I'm telling you, after like 5 Apple updates, so I was probably just south of $100,000 into the app. It was like 2 years and $100,000. I broke even, and I pulled the plug that day. And people sent me emails. What happened to your app? What happened to your app? I didn't even, and like everyone knows I answer my emails like this fast. I didn't even answer the emails. That's how much I hate the app. It's like, I didn't even answer. I was like, I'm not doing it, It was like, it was the most painful experience. I never thought I was going to break even on that thing. Like, that was, it. Not only was it one of my worst expenses in the history of the website, and I could tell you some other great stories about building the website, and we'll do that maybe on Mitch Mondays. But this one was like, oh my, because I was in deep, At 60, there's a lot of stuff I could have done with that money, and one of them wasn't break even. And it's like, when you get to a certain point with the developers and like things not working correctly with the app and it not having some of the features that you've discussed and you have in writing, then it always turns into this, and it always is this no matter who I deal with. It always, at some point, it becomes my fault. It's like with my ex-business partners. It's like, this was our deal. This is what you guys promised. You didn't deliver. And I'm the asshole for pointing it out, right? It's like, it's just the way that it generally works. Steve, what's a dumb purchase that you made?
I would say...
It wasn't your high school moped, right? Steve was a moped rider in high school.
Actually, my father got me a really nice moped, so it's definitely not the moped. I got the Poop Magnum, the 2-seater.
Popular with the ladies.
Yeah, it actually was. I'll say about 10 years ago when this internet stuff, businesses and a friend of mine reached out, there was an opportunity called Shop to Earn.
Oof.
And it was basically organic products as an alternative to, whatever. If you went to go buy peanut butter or something, you get an organic peanut butter. But it would be online, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously there was an upfront fee to join this. And, it's a pure pyramid, MLM. Right? So you're going to go hit your family, friends, and you run out of, 10 people and you feel like an idiot for
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's multi-level marketing.
Right. So, I'm in sales and I got to justify, really, this is going to be different. This is, blah, blah, blah. So obviously it fizzled out after, I wouldn't even say 4 or 5 months. I got my ex-wife involved and stuff. But at the end of the day, it wasn't worth the time and effort. And I got out of Dodge before, any more damage could be done. But it was a learning experience. So
I love when it's always called multi-level marketing. And then it's like, you get your friends to do it, and you get your friends to do it, and the chart looks like this. It's like looks like a pyramid.
Right. All you got to do is put a picture of Bernie Madoff on there. That'll say it all.
And it works exactly like this.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns?
Rod,
Like
you're up.
you have people over. You have people over. They're like, "Oh, is that your ancestry thing? Is that your ancestry family tree?" No, this is the amount of people I got involved in the pyramid scheme about 10 years ago.
Exactly.
How about you, Rod?
For me, the biggest thing was I invested some money into this. I thought it's going to be this great idea called the Pizza Dome, where grocery stores, you can put this little Pizza Dome on the counter, which before 7-Eleven started selling all this whack of food like they normally do. So, but this Pizza Dome sat on the counter. It would have been great for bowling alleys. We make the pizza. It's all ready for you. It comes in frozen. You just put it in this little dome. 6 minutes later, this pizza comes out. It's right there, ready to serve people.
Sounds good. I like it. I'll take 2.
Yeah, I know. It started off pretty good, and then it was just 2 of us, and it got retarded in the beginning, and then it just dropped. It just was just like, ew. We went from we sold a whole pile of pizzas in the beginning, doubled my money. I was like, this is pretty good. We started rolling, and then we bought way too many pizza domes. We got this deal, and we ended up with like 10,000 of these pizza domes, and then we couldn't sell any.
So where are the pizza domes now?
Where are they now?
Yes.
I sold them to Buddy, my partner. I sold them to him for $2,000. He gave me $2,000, and I said, "You're on your own." And I ran the heck out of it.
What has he done? Has he sold the pizza domes, or were they on the Liquidator? Jeff.
I think they were on the Liquidator.
I love that show. I love the Liquidator, man.
Yeah, I think he off got rid of those quick. He went from that to try to sell frozen yogurt after that.
The Liquidator's Canadian, right?
Yep.
I love that show, man. I love the Liquidator. I was on a marathon yesterday on the Liquidator.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
He's awesome.
Like you reach out to the guy, you find out he made one giant pizza dome out of all the pizza domes.
The world's largest pizza dome pizza.
The size of the Astrodome now.
Yeah,
I had an oven.
I think for all the bad purchases I made, I think like the ones where I got flat out ripped off, I could probably have even a longer list. You know, it's like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm very susceptible to being ripped off. I think people think, I think that, you know, one of the things in one of my New Year's resolutions this year was that I have always been the type of guy that I admit my own faults, so I make fun of myself, you know? And I think some people, they think that means I'm stupid, you know? And it's also, I generally tend to look to the greater good than skinning people alive. Like, most of the people that come to this show, and it's like, I know we only have, you know, a couple dozen these days, but, you know, normally we have hundreds and hundreds, right? And, you know, most of the people know that it's like, I'm more willing to give for free or whatever for the greater good, and everything else will take care of itself. But some people interpret that as stupidity, and they generally take it as a license to steal from me. And so this year I've decided that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and do that a lot less, and hopefully it'll result in less people thinking they can just flat out steal from me. So we have some, you know, like we're going to have some new products and new other things coming out too, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about that as well. I talked to Rod and Chris about that last week. But Chris, anything else besides that focus that we could list in this category of the just the outright blunder purchases? I think everybody else has theirs, you know.
Yeah. No, I think I had my fair share of the pyramid scheme as well. I got out of it fairly quickly when I realized what was going on, and they're like, they bribed me with a free muffin basket, and at that point I'm like, well, where's the next one coming? And then they're like, oh no, there's only one. I'm like, no, I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Yeah, I've had definitely some single worst deals that I've ever done, and you know, I think last year my foray into merging my company, you know, with another company was my worst move I ever made my whole life, as far as business or any, you know, personal, anything. It was the worst move I ever made. I can't go into a lot of detail about it to explain exactly why that is, but let's just say I don't play well with others. And if you have a certain type of people, I really don't play well with them, you know. And it's like I think it was kind of like all those things all hit into one. And you know, I talk about it a little as I talk about it as much as I can, as you know, without crossing lines. And you know, I generally do that on Mondays. But you know, I think that's one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Just really
I will say this. I just thought about it. A couple of the things that I bought off of eBay were some of the worst things I'd ever bought. I bought a Jerry Stackhouse Philadelphia 76ers jersey that was extra large on maybe a 4-year-old. Because it came to me in the box. I tried it on. It was a tube top. If I sneezed, I was hulking out of that jersey. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they pre-washed it and shrunk it down before they sent it to me, but it didn't fit. And then I brought a LeBron James high school jersey, and it was faded. It was dark around the collar, and I'm like, is this like I either got a steal because it was game used and I just didn't know any better, or I got hosed, and I'm pretty sure it was the latter.
I hired a guy off Craigslist once to come over to my place in Chicago and fix my computer. That was definitely up there. He left his family out in the car. It was about 25 below zero. My wife invited them, had to say, you know, why don't you bring them in or whatever. It was horrific. And the guy ended up, this was literally his solution for fixing my computer. And I'm not even joking. Like, everything was crashing and like I was frozen. It was like, you know, in the PC, back when I used to use a PC and not a Mac. This was literally his solution. This was it.
The air spray.
Canned air. Now, he ran out of canned air. My wife had to run to the store to get a new can of canned air. It was like 40 below zero. She was way pissed. And I'll tell you what, to this day, I'm not allowed to hire anybody off Craigslist for anything.
I really thought you were going to say, that he was going to say, well, did you turn it off and turn it back on?
No. Literally went with the canned air. It was even better than to turn it off and turn it on. It was like for my wife, it was definitely, so.
I'll give you one from college quickly. So our buddy Joel, St. Louis Joel. So back in the day, this is early 83, 84, 85. So around Boston, these vans would drive around. And there were a couple of high-end stereo stores like Tweeter. Remember Tweeter and things like that. So these guys would drive around in the van around our kind of our camp, where we lived off-site from Boston U, which is, only, half a mile away or something. So these vans would drive by, and then they would open the doors, and they'd have all these, giant speakers in there, right? And they'd be like, yeah, the inventory, there was some extra inventory, and so on and so forth. And you look at them, and you're like, oh, my God, these things are, giant, speakers. They look great. So Joel had bought them, I think, for $100. Now, $100, right, in the mid '80s is, what are we talking? $300, man.
Could have at least got a couple grams of blow for that, and maybe some half ounce of weed or something. I don't know. I don't. Not that I would put it in those kind of terms,
But anyway,
I wouldn't know. I heard it from somebody else.
Right. So go to Joel's.
Listed in the bedroom.
It was actually about a gram of blow back then. Coke, I think, was more expensive back then.
So he's cranking these tunes with these giant speakers, and he couldn't wait to get rid of them, right? So who's the sucker that comes along? Me. I said, I'll take him, right? And then when you got to move, you leave college, it takes up about, 20 square feet of your van with these ridiculous speakers. And I'm like, I got burned on that. And here I am, many, many decades later, still burned.
I've definitely
still had them.
Definitely been roasted a few times on things, but I think I've been fortunate enough to have as many good things too, and I think if I probably sat down, I mean, we just thought of this topic as we went, and it's like if I really would have thought about it, I probably would have had even more. But definitely with the website, I would say one of the things that I've found throughout the years is that I have a tough time saying no. I'm one of those people that has a tough time saying no to people, and it's throughout the years, a lot of people have wanted to work with us on the website. A lot of people. And I've given people a lot of chances. And it's like when I first started, everyone was like, when I knew I needed to build the website out from when I had first started, and they were like, you should go to India. You should have your tech work done in India. It's so cheap. It's like biggest mistake I ever made. And this is all stuff I'll talk about on Mondays, but it was like, and also with some of the new stuff that I'm going to be coming out, I have a new product that's it's going to be a little bit different than anything else I've ever done before, and it's called the Betting Badass, and I'm really excited about that too. But that's going to be probably a little further beyond. I actually have 2 books that I'm supposed to write. 2 books, I never thought that. I mean, I always have been a good writer, and I always thought that. I always wanted to write a book, but I never thought that I'd have the opportunity. And I'm gonna be writing 2 books, which is crazy, and that's on the schedule for next year, for 2021. I wish I would have had it on the schedule for now. It would have been a great time to do it. But though it's on the schedule for 2021, one is purely about sports betting. The other one is about how I started all this crap with $10, which a lot of people ask me a lot of things about, but it's going to go into some of the details. And I'm expecting pretty much a lawsuit from that one. So, it is what it is. I think if someone tells the exact truth and they have backup about it, about what they're saying, about something that you did or said and promised and any of that stuff, then maybe you shouldn't have. Maybe you should think about the way that you're acting as opposed to thinking about suing them all the time. But that will remain to be seen. Chris, let's get to the sim action. Yesterday, I don't even know who we had. How do we do? Oh, here it is. So who won yesterday? I had the Cardinals.
So the Steelers won by 8
against the Cardinals.
27-19. Yeah.
How about the Packers?
The Packers beat the Giants 34-26.
And that.
The Niners stomped the Ravens 41-10. And the Rams beat the Patriots 31-27. And then the 2 hockey games, Tampa Bay won 5-2, and St. Louis won 7-4.
So I lost both the hockey games. So I'm not.
Right.
That over in the Blues game that I said, it was over in the first period. They scored 7 goals in the first period. There's no NHL sims. They stopped them again. Well, because they've all been over.
I talked to the people that run that stream. They're only Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Well, yeah.
For today, it's just 4 NFL, 12 o'clock Eastern. Patriots at Buccaneers. Patriots -7, over under 50.5.
Is Tom Brady playing for both teams?
It's a Brady Bowl. No, he's playing for New England.
I'll take the over 51.5.
Yeah, I'll take Tampa Bay. They've been competitive in these simulation games.
I got Tampa Bay.
Go Pats.
3 o'clock. Packers at Lions. Packers -8, over under 51.5. Sorry, 57.5. Sorry.
Like sometimes when I flip the coin, I really hope it lands on one side, not the other.
I'll take Detroit +8.
What do you got, Rod?
I got
Detroit +8.
I'll go Detroit +8.
I got the Lions too.
I'm on my own with the Packers.
Yeah, that's what I wish I had.
Saints at Falcons. Saints -4, over under 65.5.
I'll take Atlanta money line.
I got Atlanta +4 and money line.
Atlanta's home.
Yeah, at Atlanta.
I got Atlanta.
And the last one, San Francisco at the Raiders. San Francisco minus 7.5, over under 55.5. I like the Niners here.
I like the Niners and the over.
Niners over.
So Niners at the Raiders.
Niners
Niners.
at the Raiders.
Niners on the back-to-back here. I got the Raiders. I'm telling you, this penny lands on heads almost every time, it seems like. I got the Raiders. The Niners are going to be tired on that back-to-back.
Oh, man.
Anything else in the comments? Kevin Hill, really interested in UT. UT college football. We the best. Nice.
This Sims, I was watching a Sims game, and what quarterback was it? I don't know if you've seen it, Chris. The quarterback, all of a sudden he stepped back to pass, and then he was going to get sacked, and all of a sudden he takes off running, and he ran all the way right out the back of the other end zone like he was running to the tunnel.
Yeah, it was Dak Prescott. They had to pay out
He
both
ran like a
sides.
chicken. He was like, I don't want to get tackled. And he ran the wrong way and he got the safety right out the back of the end zone.
He was about to get sacked, and everybody was complaining in the comment section because they're like, "Oh, well, what happens now?" I messaged the guy. He's like, "Yeah, apparently, Dak Prescott didn't want to run forward until he got a new contract, so he ran 80 yards backwards."
Not a good week for Dak with his, breaking the COVID curfew with having 10 people or more at his house.
He
And
had to run home.
Sim games.
He had to run home to pull the dinner out of the oven. And then you had the Patriots Steelers game the other day get both sides paid out because it went to overtime, and a touchback ended the ball back up at the opposing 30-yard line instead of their own 25.
Wow.
So
It's life in Sims football. You got
there are some flaws.
Tomorrow is the sliced bologna eating contest. We'll have to go over that on the show. I know we have it covered at Sports Chat. This is where we are. This is the world we live in, as they say.
Sliced bologna eating contest.
Yes.
Yeah, and that contest is why I will not be here tomorrow.
Is it chicken bologna or is it beef bologna?
I don't want to know it. I think that ruins the surprise.
Yeah, right.
I wonder what category Randy put that under. Really, to be honest with you, what's the picture he used?
Wait, hold on. That's actually a thing for tomorrow?
Yeah, it is.
I thought you were just pulling my leg.
He put it under NFL. Major League Eating.
Now, you do realize that now, because I made that joke, I have an obligation to go to that contest and participate.
It's on YouTube. Major League Eating featured 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Where?
Where's
Does it say where? The southern United States, the West Coast, East Coast, Canada?
I think it's on
Can't southern,
YouTube,
not
and
right.
people check in. I think it's going to be like distancing, but it'll be like
Oh,
it'll be all four of us, and we had a big bologna eating contest and see who taps out first.
Fastest time to complete round 1. Over 69 seconds, minus 140, according to, and the record for bologna was 2.76 pounds of pork and chicken bologna. It took 6 minutes.
Joey Chestnut in this?
I think we should have M&M's eating contest or Reese's peanut butter eggs, the discounted after Easter prices on here.
I can make that happen.
Oh man, yeah. Randy's got this all covered, but it looks like Eric Booker is in here. Is in. Is the one that I remember. Slowest time to complete round 1, over 95 seconds.
Wow.
Can I let the dog eat the bologna?
Will anyone vomit plus 800 on yes?
I'll take that. I'll take that. You can't.
Joey Chestnut, of course, minus 180 to make the finals.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's a bologna? It's a hot dog. There's no difference.
Right.
Is Pat Bertoletti in there too? I don't even know if I don't know who's even in it.
Mickey's,
Kobayashi in this too?
I don't think so.
No, he's still stuck in.
Nah, Kobayashi's bougie for the hot dogs now. He's only exclusive to the hot dog eating contest.
Matt Stoney.
Okay.
He beat Chestnut in 2015 in the hot dog contest.
That's right.
This is where we are. This is the world
This
we live
is
in.
where we're at.
This is pretty much exactly where we're at.
We're being tested.
Yeah.
If we can survive this, we can survive anything.
Maybe tomorrow we'll actually call someone from Craigslist to come over and fix something. We'll have the canned air ready.
The cat.
So my wife, the reason why the canned air is actually out is we had a hornet's nest in the front doorway, and this is what my wife. I said we got to spray it with something. This is what my wife used.
The air?
Canned air. Yeah. This is why we're at. This is why we're at 17 feet on our social distance.
The hornet's probably like, oh, it's a little gusty today.
I mean, I'm a repeater. I know it. You know.
It's a little windy.
Who in the hell buys the unsalted peanuts? You know. It's like my wife bought unsalted peanuts. Cost me $780 in marriage counseling.
Well, I was like bottled water. Who said if you go back 30 years and someone said that you were gonna have to buy bottled water, or you were gonna buy, or someone you could make millions off of bottled water, you would have been like, what?
Oh,
Whatever. I'm gonna go drink it out of the hose over here.
yeah, that really bottled water kind of came out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere, and it's like, phew, what? You gotta pay $5 for bottled water. What?
Exactly.
That's just a regular jug.
It's weird because there's no correlation like to the taste versus the price of the bottled water. You know, there's no correlation at all. I bought
Nobody
bottled.
drinks out of the tap. Now, if you tell somebody you just had a glass of water out of the tap from your sink or something, they look at you like, you know,
What's wrong with you?
you're in a plane crash and you're starting to eat each other because there's no food.
I have the reverse osmosis system in the sink, where the guy comes over once a year, changes the filter.
I'm the guy that'll turn the tap on and put the glass underneath and drink the water. Like, I'm not paying for bottled water.
Me too. I'll do so.
I'm already paying for the water. Why do I want to go to the store and pay for more water?
How do we survive all these years before bottled water? That's my question.
I will say I can taste the difference with Dasani though.
I can't drink Dasani. They put salt in it. They add salt to the water.
No,
That's probably right.
Dasani? Yeah, they do. Read the bottle. The second ingredient is salt. The second ingredient in the bottled water of Dasani is salt. They add salt to it. Why? To make you more thirsty, so you drink more Dasani water. Have a look. Next time you look at a Dasani bottle, the second ingredient will be salt.
I got some Deer Park right now.
I don't believe
I believe it. Have a look. Next time you'll see a Dasani bottle, you'll be like, I gotta look. And it'll say
2020 below eating contest sponsored by Dasani. Eat salt, drink salt.
Pound salt.
Salt shaker in each arm.
I know because I know it's on the bottle because when I ran the concession at a YMCA, I was selling bottled water, and the little machine that was right there for Coke was selling Dasani water. So I had an empty bottle of Dasani. I said, look, see, they add salt in this. If you buy it out of that machine, you're going to get salty water. If you buy it over here, I'm 50 cents cheaper, and there's no salt in the water.
Look at you.
That's the only reason why I know that there's salt in there.
Oh, an NFL legend passed away, I just heard.
Seems
Willie
like a lot of
Davis?
debts.
Willie Davis from the Green Bay Packers, Vince Lombardi teams in the 60s. Hall of Famer.
Seems to be a lot of deaths these days in sports.
Yeah.
For the wrestling fans, Howard Finkel passed away.
Huh? Notable passing.
Anyways,
Right. all water has minerals and different types of minerals to sort. And they went Dasani. Dasani everywhere to taste the same. They want Dasani to taste the same everywhere. So Dasani has salt added to the water, according to Dasani's nutrition label. It's right there on the nutrition. It says salt added to the water.
There you have it. Just ruin it for the rest of
Mystery
us.
solved.
Just crush it for the rest of us, then. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll have some good news. You know, they're playing the U.S. Open golf in September. They put out the schedule June 11th for the PGA Tour. Maybe that means that everybody else not too far behind. I think that we're past the worst of it. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pandemic expert. I'm not going to get into who fired who and who ended what. But I think as you go back, you can see exactly what happened here. That no one was actually fired. There was no ending of this or that. It was just merged into something else. So it's that I will say. I won't say that. I don't think that's a political statement or anything. But I don't think when they say that this guy ended the pandemic department or whatever. Yeah, they don't call it the pandemic department or anything anymore. But it's the same thing. It's just merged into something else. It's just kind of like, my company isn't called Sports Chat Place LLC anymore. It's called Dawn Patrol LLC, and it's has both all my websites and everything. It's no different. Anyways, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. The moral of today's show: avoid the 2001 Ford Focus. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good